Scott, thank you so much for joining me here today at GAIM Ops Cayman.
My pleasure.
Can you tell me about why allocators lose confidence and what can we do about that?
There are different stages of the relationship. There's the introduction stage, and I think at that early stage when you're starting to wonder, do we want to enter into a relationship with this manager? Because that's what it is at the end of the day, it's a relationship. And confidence starts to erode when allocators can't explain things simply. By that I mean, obviously we're sophisticated people, we understand strategies, but almost every fund manager has an issue. It could be an operational issue, it could be they had a couple of months of poor performance. And then you ask the questions, you're like, all right, what happened? Like, all right, so November, December, 4 years ago, the rest of the market was up and you were like down, like what happened? If they give you a good explanation, I've had this happen in reality, and they give an explanation, well, we got this investment, we got it wrong. Our thesis was this, but it went the other way. We sold out of it, we lost money. And another position, it took a dive in the last 2 months of the year. It's unfortunate, so it made it a bad print. We still hold the position, and by the way, it's gone up tremendously. You need to have the explanation. And confidence starts to erode when the explanations don't make sense, the explanations are a little bit convoluted, and you feel like they're getting evasive. And at that early stage, that's a quick one to be like, you know what? They can't explain what happened. We don't want to be there.
How about the operational issues that might arise in these during the due diligence processes? What else turns into a trust concern for ODD teams?
Again, it's almost a similar answer. It's transparency and explainability. But I think probably the biggest thing is, I don't want to say every hedge fund is alike, but there is a lot that goes into hedge fund operations that everybody has to do. There are basics that everybody should be doing. Nobody's going to give you an award for doing it because it's expected. But if you're not doing it, or if you say you're doing something and you're not doing it, we check personal emails once a quarter, and you start going through your due diligence, like, it appears you haven't done email review in 9 months. What happened? Oh, we were busy. That's not an answer. There are some basics that have to be done, and everybody does them. And yes, it sounds like if you do it all, it's a check the box. Absolutely. But if you're not doing it, then that's a big ODD problem.
So there seems to be like a process that's missing.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, holes in either, but everybody does, but it's industry standard, or holes in the things that you say you're doing but don't do. Big problem.
So what are those basics that allocators are looking for to kind of garner that trust?
Regular reporting, transparency, and again, it all depends on strategy. We invest in some strategies. We're expecting monthly reporting because they're in liquid instruments, and they're invested in things that are actively traded, so pricing isn't an issue. And we're also invested in strategies that are less liquid. It's a quarterly fund or a private equity fund. The treatment of the investors kind of has to match the asset class. But if there's a mismatch there, like if your monthly hedge fund is getting their reports out late consistently, again, it's what's going on, guys. It's just this doesn't work for us, doesn't work for anybody. So fix it or we're out.
So there needs to be a real strong communication and relationship building.
Yes.
That needs to happen.
Communication is key, and it's interesting that you bring that up, because I think when fund managers are trying to raise capital, communication's awesome because they want your money. And I think it's a challenge, which I don't think it should be, but sometimes it's a challenge for once that check is written, if you will, then all of a sudden it's, well, thanks very much. And then it's like, now you have trouble getting them on the phone. See, we're a big believer as a family office. By definition, we're very long-term investors. We think generationally, not even annually. We think generationally. So for us, it's about maintaining that relationship, because the people we like, we'll put in another allocation 2 years from now. If it's a drawdown fund and they're raising Fund 3, yeah, we'll sign up for Fund 3, because in fact, I'm expecting documents on a fund. It'll be our third fund with them. Great investors, absolute baseline, but also just very good at communication, letting everybody know what it is, where the fund is going. And it is a tricky strategy, but they're good communicators, and we're happy to be with them.
Absolutely. And that's what builds trust.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you so much for joining me today, Scott.
Thank you.